Peace be upon you. This is Brother Salih once again trying to put a little bit of information out there to share with you a little bit from my studies. I've been involved in the study of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's teachings, and it's taken me to a lot of places and a lot of different, what might seem like different information, but really is all connected. And it started with trying to understand what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad meant when he was trying to convey to us something he called the theology of time. The other day I put out a video that tried to show you about the 25,000 year or 25,920 year precession of the equinox, and how the motion of our planet it's going around the sun, and it's also spinning on this 24-hour cycle of day and night, and the wobble, how they all tie into us, and how everything in creation vibrates. And the way that we vibrate is through our inhale and exhale. Our vibration is our rate of breath. And I tried to convey to you the idea that you actually can control levels of consciousness, or where you connect in consciousness, by your rate of breath. For example, the average person breathes 18 breaths a minute at a 1-to-4 ratio, which is 72 pulses or heartbeats. And I try to show you how that in the course of 24 hours, we actually breathe 25,920 breaths, which is the same as the precession of the equinox, the great year that I tried to explain to you in the last little video. It is important for us to understand that when you go back and you study some of the scriptures that are not that available to us. I don't know if you remember when they found the Dead Sea Scrolls in the Nag Hammadi Library. They hid them, and then all of a sudden you would see this much of the text and volumes of writing where they tried to bring them in line with the writings that they already had out there. But they talk a little bit in there about the children of light and the children of darkness. And I want you to understand that there's something about this color that you got. It's called melanin. And melanin absorbs light. That's why you don't have the level of, sun damage and skin damage or skin cancer as other people. The more melanin you got, your body actually absorbs the light and turns it into vitamins, particularly vitamin D and other vitamins that are essential for your body. But there are also other forms of melanin. And one of the most important forms of melanin is what you call neuromelanin. And neuromelanin is that which is the constructs your nervous system, your brain, your spine, and all the nerves that make up your body. Now, the thing that makes you a little different than other people, those of you that have color, is that you have greater amounts of melanin and therefore greater amounts of neuromelanin. And that's why you find in your culture great rhythm and great dance and great expression, but you're also extremely emotional people, because the life force is really great in you. You are the sons of light, the sons and daughters of light. That's who you are. Now, why am I saying this morning? I'm saying it to you because I want you to understand that we have an obligation now to go back to our original knowledge and to be able to use that original knowledge. Now, I tried to explain to you yesterday that very life that we experience is a flux of electromagnetic energy that's caused by the motion of our planet and our direct relationship with the other planets around us and with the pole stars. And this electromagnetic energy that we see in this cycle of day and night is actually what we call time. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was beginning to introduce us to this theology of time. It is in this realm that things manifest. Now, I also tried to just drop a little bit about what we call, there's a guy that was studying Taoism, and he wrote a lot of books and tried to interpret it for the Western mind. His name was Wayne Dyer. And he introduced or tried to bring a model in that I think is important and appropriate to use. He called it the field of intention. And this field of intention is the seed-bearing realm out of which you can express your ideals and express your actions in order to begin to manifest that which is good for yourself and good for your people. Now, I got to tell you, there are people right now that's using what we call technology that are expressing things that are evil to the people and causing disruption and destruction. You see it in the White House. You see it in the Republican Party right now. But we don't want to go that way because we don't need to be what the world has been. The world is about to be taken out the way. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad has told us that we need to be prepared for that time. And right now, Minister Louis Farrakhan is working hard through study groups to help our people begin to get back into touch with the source of themselves, which is the higher being. When you learn how to slow your breath down but increase the amount of oxygen that you bring in, you can actually dial in to levels of consciousness and change the way that you not only react emotionally, but also your impact, your charisma, that energy that you can affect this field that I'm talking about. Now, this field of attention that we talk about, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he used to do a great deal to try to teach his ministers that you have to be grammatically correct when you speak to the people. He taught them that if you speak and your words are too far in the future, it might make it, might not. If your words is always in the past, then the power for those words is in the past and it won't have no great power in the present. But if you speak in the here and now, then your words are resident with a life germ. Now, we learned from the Moorish Science Temple, they used to have a phrase or a word that they used. They used to talk about demonstration. And we can see that if you look at the work of Master Farad Muhammad, and you look at the work of Elijah Muhammad, and if you look at the work of Minister Farrakhan, you can see that what they're doing is actually seeding this field of intention to begin to bring about the conscious change in the people that exist around us and therefore change the reality that we live in. This is our duty, and this is part of our responsibility, and it's something that we need to really start looking at. This is Brother Salih, just dropping a little tidbit. Take it or let it alone. Assalamu alaikum.